mark.com. We're back with Peter Schweizer. The book is Profiles in Corruption, Abuse of Power by America's Progressive Elite. I encourage you to get it immediately. You can order it on Amazon. You just go through Mark Levin Show Facebook, Mark Levin Show Twitter, or go to Amazon directly. So, Peter Schweizer, Bernie Sanders is very hostile to wealth and capitalism and all the rest. Tell us about Bernie.
Yeah, well, I can touch on it. I mean, Bernie's chapter is 40 pages in this book. There's a lot of material.
Well, we'll hit more on this Sunday, too, so go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. No, Bernie is fascinating because you're right. He used to rail against billionaires and millionaires in government, and that was the phrase he always used. When he became a millionaire, he dropped that and just said he was opposed to billionaires in government. And what you find is that a lot of the money he's made has been through his government service. When he was mayor of Burlington, Vermont, he put his then-girlfriend, later wife, on the payroll. It was not approved by the city council. It was not a position that they created or funded. He said, screw you, I'm going to do it anyway. When he ran for Congress, he put his kids on the payroll for his campaigns, particularly for something, Mark, that you know about can be very lucrative, which is media buying. So if you're running for political office and I do the media buy for you, let's say I buy $1 million worth of advertising, I can take a 15% commission off the top for myself. That's $150,000. You can make a lot of money doing media buys. And when he ran for Congress, his wife Jane did that, and she made over $150,000 doing that. Now, here's where it gets interesting, Mark. When Bernie runs for president in 2016, we're no longer talking about congressional-type campaign budgets. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars. So who does the media buying for his campaign in 2016? Well, it's kind of hard to know because he runs it through this company called Old Town Media, which is registered to a home in suburban Virginia on a cul-de-sac. And this company has no website. You don't really know who's behind it. With some research, you find out that's behind it is two of Jane's old friends who were taking commissions on $83 million worth of media buys. So you're talking about, about $12 million. Now, Jane was actually asked about this. A local progressive Vermont reporter asked Jane, did she have any connection to Old Town Media and all the money they were making off of media buyers? You know what Jane's answer was? She didn't answer. She hung up the phone. So the question would be, we know he's done, believe he's doing it now. How much money did they make off of these media buys during his 2016 campaign?
How many homes do they have?
They have 3 homes. One of them is actually held in a trust for tax purposes. I mean, Bernie wants other people to pay taxes, but he doesn't want to pay taxes. And, Mark, he also has a history with campaign and other employees of not actually hiring them as employees, but hiring them as contractors. And he did this several times.
And that way you don't have to pay pension and medical contributions and Social Security and all the rest.
That's exactly right. He did this when he ran for Congress, and complaints were filed against him, and he ended up having to pay back taxes because the Vermont government said, yeah, this was an inappropriate use of contractors. So, Bernie is all about everybody else living up to their social responsibility and paying their fair share of taxes, but when it comes to Bernie, those same rules apparently don't apply.
Peter Schweizer, it amazes me how many people whose entire career has been about government become extraordinarily rich.
Yes.
I look at the Obamas after they left office. They have to be worth $200-300 million. You look at Al Gore, $250 million. You look at the Clintons, $250 million. They go after Trump, who made billions of dollars before he came into office, and gives away his salary, and could be making a hell of a lot more if he were still in the private sector. But very little is said by the media about these politicians who come into office poor, and then when they leave, they get extremely rich, or in the case of Sanders, he's a multimillionaire, and he's never left.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Mark, and I think this is, again, something that really infuriates people on both sides of the aisle because they get it. They get it. This is supposed to be, what's the phrase they use? This is supposed to be public service. The only people they're servicing are themselves, and they're doing it by these deals. Sometimes they don't even do it themselves. They cover it up, as Joe Biden did, by setting up their family members. So,
Peter Schweizer, I've got to run. We're going to see you on Sunday. We can't wait. Your book, Profiles in Corruption, is absolutely terrific. I strongly encourage my audience to get there tonight at Amazon. Many ways to get there and order it online, that is. And I wish you well. And we salute all you heroes out there. I want to thank you. And don't let these clowns in the Democrat Party on TV get you down. See you tomorrow.